Right. Okay, before I start the session, guys, with today's session, 35 hours of training will be completed. Okay, so 35 hours of training will be completed, but there will be minimum 25 hours more. So 60 hours would be the minimum duration. Max would be 80. Okay, so till date, or by this today's session, once this today's session is completed, so 35 hours of training will be completed. Please check yourself, how much progress you made and how much you learned or how much, you had assimilated. Okay. So having said that, now let me show you how to now, like most of you are having all the 4 scripts for web tools, right? So I had downloaded all the scripts and I am reviewing it, and I'll update the review comments for the rest of the guys. By today, end of the day, I'll update for rest all the guys for first application. Okay. I still did not receive from some people. Don't want to mention the names, but I still did not receive some scripts from some people. Okay, anyways. So now let's see how to, like how to create a test plan, or, suppose if you want to do performance testing for a web, any project, in any project or any application. So first, like you will have, first of all, multiple resources in the project, at least two to three guys in the project. Let me bring up your class notes. And now each one of them will be working on different scripts. Do you have Dinesh today? Okay, Dinesh, Shreya, and Vaishnavi. Shreya and Vaishnavi. Okay. And
Yes, Pawan.
one more guy.
Yes, sir.
Devajyoti shifted to another batch. And one more guy is joined this batch recently. Okay. So usually, like you take any performance testing project, there will be 2 or 3 resources. Okay, on an average, generally. So now, like when let's assume that there are 3 resources, and there are, like on an average there will be, hold on, I'll give some title to this: average team size. Team size. Okay, average team size and scripts, right? So in any project, like, the average team size will be like, let's say, average PT team size. Okay. Performance testing team size. So there will be on an average 15 to 20 scripts in any application, most of the applications. Okay. Most of the applications that I saw, there were 15 to 20 scripts on an average, or 10 to 15. So, 15 is the right number, right average, if you consider, right? Now each resource will be, suppose if you have 15 scripts altogether. So each resource will be obviously working on at least 5 scripts, right? And now, you need to, so once you work on the scripts, right? So before starting the script, you will create a Jira ticket. You need to create a Jira ticket. Okay. So daily you will have a, like when will you create this, you will have a daily stand-up call in the morning, mostly in the morning. And who all will be involved in the daily stand-up call? So your functional team, functional testing team, functional and automation testing team. Okay. Or, manual or automation. Okay. I'll do one thing. So I think this is the right usage. Functional testing team will be there. Okay. And performance team and security testing team. If at all there is security testing, you will also have security testing team. So, and who will be driving this meeting is, there will be some reporting manager, some manager, QA manager, who will be driving this stand-up call. Clear, guys? So QA manager will be driving the stand-up call, and mostly they will be from functional background. It's very less chance that they will be from performance, but they will be mostly from functional background only. Okay. So, and how do you collect the requirements? How do we know that, what scripts we need to work on, or what are the functionality we need to cover as part of the performance testing is, So we'll have a every sprint. Okay. Did I explain what is a sprint?
No.
Some of you know that, or most of you know that. What is a sprint?
No, boy.
Sprint meeting where we are sorting the user stories.
What is it?
We were selecting the user stories.
We were selecting the user stories. Okay.
Yeah, sprint.
Now, what is sprint duration? Okay, let me ask in this way. What is the sprint duration?
9 days.
Generally, usually, yes.
9 days or 10 days.
9 days.
Yeah, one sprint, one PI, it will take like 2 months or 3 months. One sprint will be like 10 days.
Right. 2 weeks in general. So sprint duration will be 2 weeks or 10 business days. Isn't it? 10 business days. Okay. 10 business days means excluding weekends and all days. Right. So sprint duration would be usually 10 business days. Right. So now for every sprint, before every sprint, developers will, will schedule a meeting, or your QA manager will be scheduling a meeting with the developers, and they will be explaining user stories. So, and those meetings are called user stories demo meetings. User stories demo meetings. Okay. And now, so in user stories demo meetings, who all will be there? So your dev team and testing team will be there. Whole testing team will be there in the user stories demo meeting. There, in these meetings, developers will explain suppose they develop some new API, or they'll developed some new page, added some new feature or new page to the application. So they will explain that new API, or, they will explain that new feature that was added to the application. Okay. And, the corresponding teams should start working on it. So that means your functional testing team should start doing functional testing for that feature, and performance team should be doing PT for that, and from security team should be doing that security testing for that particular feature or API or whatever task they accomplished. Okay. So developers will be explaining the new feature, or new API, any new API developed. Okay. Any new API developed, or new feature added to the application. Clear, guys? Now like yeah, so you were talking about Scrum meetings, right? So Scrum, PA planning and all those. In PA planning meetings and all those, yes, Scrum Master, business analyst team, stakeholders, all the stakeholders, like from the business side and product side, yes. There will be there available in the user story or specification walkthrough. No, so it depends. See, user stories demo, I did not see Scrum Master and business analyst team at least. Okay. Of course, it depends on organization to organization. Maybe it depends on organization to organization. So, but usually in my experience, what I have seen is in the user stories demo, so dev team and testing team will be there. Okay. Maybe Scrum Master will be there. So because he need to run the show. Right. But I had never seen business analyst team also being there in the user stories demo. They will be there in the PA planning and all those, I believe. Right. So now once developers explain any new API that is developed, or new feature that is added to the application, right? So functional team should start doing functional testing for that API or new feature, and performance team, the respective team should pick up their tasks and they should start working on it. So before they work, they should ideally create a Jira ticket for their, suppose some new feature is added, some new page is added to the application. Okay. And you are supposed to do, as a performance engineer, you are supposed to do performance testing for that new feature. You are supposed to develop one script and include that in the scope. So you need to create a Jira ticket. You need to create, or your lead will create the ticket, and he will assign to you. Or else if you are proactive, like you can also create a Jira ticket and assign to yourself. You can assign it to yourself. Clear, guys? Or else any team member can create Jira tickets for each one of them, and they can assign it to like their team members. Clear, guys? So once we create a Jira ticket, then we will be updating that ticket regularly. So you need to update the progress daily. Suppose if you are blocked somewhere, you need to update the Jira ticket. Or if you completed the task or completed that script. And now when you are creating Jira ticket, right? So create one ticket for script development and another scripts for test, another Jira ticket for test data preparation, right? And one more for, test data. Yes, script and test data. These are the most important ones. Based on the requirement, you will add them. You will add further, any other Jira tickets for that. Okay. Now, you need to assign it to yourself. You can assign it to yourself and you can start working on that. Now, in that way, let's assume that all the three members got some scripts to work and they developed some scripts. Each of them developed 5 scripts in this process by following this process. So each resource, let's assume that each resource worked on 5 scripts each, right? And now where do they store that those 5 scripts are, so you should not keep it in your laptop, but you need to, by the end of the day, by the way, by the end of the day, you need to send a status report as well. Daily status report, DSR, that is called as DSR. Okay. Daily status report, because your manager need to consolidate all the status and he need to give update to his reporting manager. Okay. Your manager also will be reporting to someone, right? So daily you need to, before you leave the office, you are supposed to share the daily status report. What did you work on that day? And what are you going to hold on. So, let me give it over here. In daily status report. So, one thing is what is done today. Okay. What is done or accomplished today? Activities planned for tomorrow. And for tomorrow. And any blockers or impediments. And by the way, so this will also be like, hold on. So when I told you that daily, we will have a daily stand-up call, right? This also will be the agenda actually for this meeting. So what was accomplished yesterday? See, this is in the daily morning stand-up call. If you are following daily morning stand-up, if you are having a daily morning stand-up call, so this would be the agenda items. What was accomplished yesterday? What was accomplished yesterday? And activities planned for today. And any blockers or impediments. So this would be the agenda in the daily morning stand-up call. Okay. Again, by the end of the day, you need to give like, so you need to give a second. Okay. So why it is not coming as one. There used to be an option like restart number from, not somehow I'm not getting that option. Restart number. Yeah. Yeah. So these are the agenda items, that you will be discussing in daily stand-up call. What was accomplished yesterday? Any activities? What are the planned activities for today? And any impediments or blockers? Yes. So now you will create a Jira ticket and you will start working on the script and the test data, right? And then one daily evening, you need to share a daily status report, and based on these lines, it should be along your status report should be along these lines. So what is accomplished today and in what are the activities planned for tomorrow and any impediments or blockers. Clear? And not only that, you need to upload the scripts upload, you need to update, first of all, you need to update the Jira ticket and upload the scripts to some, we call that as, version control system, VCS, version control system, like GitHub or something. Okay. So GitHub is most popularly used as a version control system. Okay. So you need, or else, you should at least share your scripts to some common repository. If some organizations, or else you need to at least attach the script to your Jira ticket. You can do one thing. If your organization is not having any GitHub, you can update the script to your, you can attach the script to the Jira ticket and the test data files, all the required information, you can upload it to your Jira ticket or version control system like GitHub, etc. Okay. Or a repository, to a repo or repository. Okay. I'll write it as repository. Right? Because, like you should not keep it with you. You should not keep the scripts with you. So you need to update the scripts, or you need to share the scripts so that, someone can review your scripts. Ideally, someone should be reviewing the scripts. Clear, guys? Your team lead or your teammates or your project lead, they should review your scripts. So you should not keep the scripts, with you or in your office laptop. Got it, guys? And if you prepare any test plan document or any sort of documents also, you need to upload them to Confluence. Any documents should be uploaded to Confluence. What is Confluence now? Most of you know that, right? What is a Confluence? Yes or no? Suppose you prepared a test plan or a test strategy for some project, right? So you need to upload all those documents to Confluence. Okay, let me show you how does the Confluence interface looks like. So this is how your Confluence looks like, right? So Confluence, Jira, all these tools are from Atlassian. And if you observe here, you can have links to Jira, Confluence over here, right? So if you want to, and let me first show you Confluence. Suppose you prepared a test plan or a test strategy document, or your team lead or project lead prepared a test plan document, right? So they will upload it into the Confluence. Confluence is the tool that is majorly used by almost above 90+% of the companies. Above 90% of the companies are using Confluence nowadays, Confluence and Jira nowadays. And these tools are from Atlassian. Atlassian is a software company from which developed this Confluence, Jira and all this, right? So now, so if you prepared any documents, right? So Word document or something, so you can copy paste the content into Confluence. Previously, we used to follow Word documents and Excel sheets, etc. But right now, 90% of the companies are using Confluence and Jira. Okay. Now, if you want to, let me go to Jira and show you that how does Jira look like and how to create a Jira ticket. Right. You can see here, I created one ticket to show you. So my issue tracking. Okay. Let me show you. Suppose there is a script like this, the performance test script for login, logout for phone account application. That means your team lead or project lead asked you to create a performance test script for some application, your project. So you need to first create a Jira ticket and you need to publish like this. Okay. I'll do one thing. So this is yes. So you can create a ticket like this and you need to update the status regularly. For example, once you start working, first the status will be new. As soon as you create it, the ticket will be new. Or else let me do one thing. So let me create a ticket. Okay. So let's say click on create and recent projects, my issue tracking project. Okay. And create a task, right? So select issue type as task. If you found some bug or defect, right? If you found some issue, you will create a bug. But if you are working on the script, you will create a task. Okay. Select your project and then select your issue type as task and then status, to do. Yeah, keep it, let it be to do. Now, you need to create some summary. Let's say, for example, you need to create a test plan for so and so project. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll give the name as web tools project with all the 4 scripts. So you'll give some summary like this, and here you can hold on. Here you can give a brief description. 4 scripts. What are those 4 scripts? So what are those 4 scripts, guys? User registration, login and navigation. Okay. Then
Random flight.
Okay, by default, a ticket from Denver to Paris
book ticket from Denver to Paris.
and book random tickets.
Random flight booking. Random flight ticket booking. Let's say, these are the scripts, in your project. Flight ticket booking, right? So you need to create a test plan for them first, right? And a reporter is, you can keep your name. You can keep your name so that the task will be assigned to yourself. Okay. And assignee, observe here, assignee means, if you want to assign it to yourself, use this option assign to me. Or else if you want to assign your teammate, search for their name and here in assignee, and you will get, you select that team member, particular team member. So here I want to assign to myself, let's say. So click on assign to me, and priority, you can choose the priority high or highest or medium, right? Based on what task you are doing. Let us say, the priority is high. Okay. And then more fields, click on more fields, select label. Label means, like you will have for performance testing, you will have one label, one separate label for that. For performance testing, you can choose that one. You can ask your team lead or project lead, what is the label for this? What label I need to select? Or else, you create a ticket and ask him to review it. Okay. Nothing wrong in that. Review it. Due date. Due date means suppose I want to complete it today. Let's say I want to complete it today. I want to complete, that creating that test plan today. So give that due date as that one, right? And then so parent, here you will select, like your feature or epic. Okay. So what is an epic and feature? We'll discuss that in some other session, or else, go through some videos on agile methodology. Okay. Now just, once you enter the required information, suppose if you don't know some information, you need not hesitate to create a ticket. You can create a ticket and ask your team lead or project lead to review it. Clear, guys? But, create ticket by yourself, and you should know how to create Jira ticket. This is important. One of the important interview question, or, this is something that every team lead or project lead expects you to do, right? To be proficient with this or familiar with this. Now, once you create it, right? So you can, some number will be assigned to that. Click on view issue, and you will get some number assigned to that. So you can see here it is issue. It is created as bug 6. Even though I selected a task, it created as bug 6, right? But that is fine. That's okay. Okay. And suppose, if this task has some subtask, let's say, for example, once you create a test plan, you need to create the test data and do a smoke test for this. So create a subtask and, execute a smoke test with all the scripts. Okay. And test data, right? This will be one subtask. Suppose if you want to create another subtask, so create a test data for all the scripts. This is one subtask under that, right? So in this way, you create task and subtask. Got it, guys? You'll create tasks and subtasks, and daily you need to, update your, suppose if you are blocked with something, let's say, for example, you are blocked with some test data creation. So you can update, in the comment section, you can add a comment saying that there is I am facing some issue, or your, application is down. For some reason, application is down. That is why you cannot create a test data. So you can update, you can update that status daily. Okay. So that everyone will be informed. Everyone will be informed and everyone will be on the same page. Clear, guys? Now let us see how to create a test plan with all these 4 scripts. So once you create a Jira ticket, then only work on it. Okay. Otherwise, there will be some cunning managers. Okay. Cunning team leads, cunning team members who will create Jira tickets for you, and they will, the credit goes to them. Okay. You will be doing the work and they will be getting the credit. Please remember this. Don't let them do that. You create a Jira ticket and you should get all the credit for whatever work you are doing. Clear, guys? Some are already working. Can you please, do you agree with that?
Yeah, sir.
Yes, sir.
So if you are not proactive in these kind of management activities, they will create the Jira ticket and they will showcase that they worked on those tasks. Did you experience any of those guys, such case? Or no? Even if you don't know Jira ticket, even if you are not familiar or even if you are new to Jira ticket, you should, your team lead or project lead should encourage you to create the Jira ticket. Okay. So, if you are, if you are also responsible, if you are also working responsibly. Clear, guys?
Sir, one query like reporter, our name only we need to give, like
What is
or
it?
reporter.
Reporter.
Our name only.
Okay, good question. Yeah. Reporter means, suppose someone found a issue, then, reporter should be your name. Suppose you found some issue in your application. So reporter will be your name and you will assign it to the developer. You will not work on that. You will not work on that, coding or something, isn't it? So
Yeah.
assignee, in the assignee column, you will assign it to the corresponding developer. Suppose you know who is working on that feature. You need to assign it to them. Or else if you don't know, even if you don't know, you can check with the dev team. You can contact with one of them and you can ask them, hey, can you tell me like, who is working, which developer is working on so and so feature? And you can assign to them. Or else, leave that assigning and your team lead or project lead will know that they will assign it. Ask him to assign to the corresponding developer. Okay. Understood? So you found some issue in your application, then the reporter will be your name, should be your name. And who need to work on that? That would be who that person would be the assignee. ఎవరైతే వర్క్ చేయాలో ఆ టాస్క్ మీద like their name should be given in the assignee column. Clear?
Yes.
All right. Now let us, so once we create a ticket, see when you are updating the status, right? For example, so this is, they see actually you'll get some number, it will be 4-digit or 5-digit number actually when you are working in a project for long time, right? But this is, we have very less tickets. That is why you are seeing only number 6. Okay. Now, like suppose, before leaving the day, like suppose you want to okay, we'll do one thing. Once we create a test plan, we will close that. We'll update this. Okay. Let's say, for example, in the status call, what are the activities planned for today? You will mention as I'm going to work on test plan creation. Okay. And bug 6. You mention the Jira ticket here. That you are going to work on this test plan creation. Okay. And at the end of the day, you need to mention that as well. You need to mention that on what tickets you worked on that particular day. Understood, guys? What are the tickets that you worked on that particular day? Okay. Now let us see, how to create a test plan by combining all the scripts. So once you launch JMeter, you'll have test plan element by default, right? By default, you will have a test plan element, isn't it? And now open the scripts one by one. So let me open the scripts one by one and I will show you multiple ways to, to include them in the test plan. I'm opening another instance of JMeter. I'm starting another instance of JMeter. Hey, I may be uploading this video to my YouTube channel as a public video because I believe, this came very good today, right? So, and, like this approach, yeah, it's better than most of my previous sessions. So I'll upload this as public video.
Sir, one query like requirement gathering will be in the sprint planning only, right? Or
What is that?
requirement gathering from the clients, like what and all the test
Requirement
in-
gathering can be done. See,
sprint
it is not
planning.
limited to one meeting actually. It can't be limited to any particular meeting. So high level requirements will be gathered in that PI planning and all, and detailed requirements will be gathered in the user stories demos.
Okay.
When developers explain the new feature or, the API that is developed, you will collect the requirements there also.
Okay.
What, like what is the target user load for that new feature? Let's say developer developed some new feature and explained that, guys, we added this new feature to the application and you need to do testing for this new feature. Then you need to you are supposed to, collect the requirements in detail now. So what is the target user load of that? Do we need to include that in the performance testing or not? First of all, you need to check with them whether that need to be included in the performance testing scope, because every page or every new feature doesn't require performance testing. Okay, we will select only critical business flows of the application. That we already discussed that, isn't it? What is meant by a critical business flow? We already discussed that, right?
Yeah.
So we will not do testing for each and every feature. We will not do performance testing for each and every feature. Of course, functional testing will be done. Will be done for every page and every API and every feature. But performance testing is done or is required only for critical business flows of the application. So you need to ask the developer whether this new feature need to be included in the performance testing scope or not. Got it? So how, how does it get determined is based on, how many users will be using that page or new feature, right? Based on that, it will be decided whether, a feature requires performance testing or not. Clear, guys?
Yes.
Right? And, once, suppose developer says that, yes, we need performance testing for this new feature. Now, the next question you should ask is, what is the user load? What is the expected user load, or with how many users we should run the script or run that, cover that new feature, right? And who is going to provide the test data? Okay. If you have a database access, or if you have the required access, you can create it. Otherwise, who is going to create the test data for that? Or do you already have test data? Right? So, so if developer may not be having the test data, so functional team will be having some test data. Okay. So you need to ask, where can I get the test data? So, or do I need to prepare myself? Will someone provide the test data, or do I need to create the test data required for that particular script?
Okay.
Clear, guys? So detailed requirements will be collected here in the user stories demo meetings. All right. Now, yeah. Now let us quickly see so how to club all these, scripts, right? So let me first open the scripts one by one. So March 2024 batch, right? So web tools, let's say user registration. We'll start with user registration. Open that script. Okay. Open that script. And I will do one thing. This I will name it as the other one, the previous one, I will name it as, give your project name followed by smoke tester. Smoke or, sanity. Smoke or sanity. You can call it as smoke or sanity, or a dry run, etc. or a trial run. Anything can be, all these are synonyms actually. So you create a test plan, for doing smoke test first. Okay. And, see, already developers, already your team members created some scripts. Assume that this script was worked by some other resource, and they uploaded to Jira ticket, or they attached to the Jira ticket, or they shared it to the GitHub or some other repository. Okay. Now simply what you can do is copy the script, open the script and copy the script, and you can paste it here like this, right? Now user registration script is added. Now let us add the remaining scripts. Okay, let's quickly add the remaining scripts. So go to the next one. So let's say login and navigation. So select that login and navigation, open it. Okay, and now you can copy this and go to your actual test plan, sanity test plan, and paste it. Right? Just do copy paste. You can copy paste elements like this. And I'll show you another way also. There is one more way that you can do the same thing. Right? So what is that other way is you can also use merge feature. So here, there is something called, if you go to file, there is something called merge. Okay. So click on that merge, and you can select your script folder. Right? So this is your script. Is this your script folder? March 2024 batch web tools. Yeah. And book ticket Denver to Paris. And now select this one. right? Now you can see that, that script got added here along with test script recorder and view results tree. Of course, if you select merge, this is how it gets added. So that is why I prefer to copy paste like this. So you can simply, do copy paste like this. I prefer this approach actually, but I just want to show that merge feature also. Okay. You can drag and drop the script like this. You can drag and drop the script like this. What is it saying? There are test items that have not been saved. It is asking about the previous script, login and navigation script. Click no. I did not make any changes, so click no. And now copy this one. Go to the test plan, come to the actual test plan, right? Select the test plan element and paste it like this. Okay, we don't need a test script recorder. You can remove the previous one's test script recorder. If you want this, you can keep it. Otherwise, you can remove this. Right now, we added all the 4 scripts, right? And now, along with the individual scripts, right? Observe here, there are some. See, you need these user-defined variables, request defaults, cookie manager, cache manager. But here, observe here, these are added at the script level, isn't it? See, observe here, these are added at the script level. For this script, login and navigation, we have 4 elements. What you can do is, instead of adding at the script level, you can add it at the test plan level. Okay. So if you add at the script level, those will be applicable to only that particular script. Obviously, if you add to the script, the scope will be limited to that particular script. But if you add those elements, any elements to the test plan, if you add any elements to the test plan, see, you see here, you see a dotted line over here. Yes or no? For these 4 elements, you see a dotted line, isn't it? Is it clearly visible, guys, or no? Okay, I'll do one thing. Let me show you that clearly. Let me show you that clearly. Let me zoom in and let me show you that clearly. Got disconnected due to some internet issue. Are you able to hear me, guys?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Now see here, see all these elements, user defined variables, HTTP request defaults, cookie manager, cache manager, all these are added to the test plan. You see a line over here, connecting line, and also the scripts are also added to the test plan. Is it clear, guys? If you see here, all the scripts are added to the test plan. I will do one thing. So let me collapse all those elements. Okay. And I will take a screenshot again. Okay. And I am collapsing all those elements. I'm taking a screenshot. Okay. And I don't have any other better tool to zoom actually. Right now you can see here clearly. See, let me zoom out slightly. Yeah. Now you can see that, these user defined variables, request defaults, cookie manager, cache manager, and all these scripts are added to the test plan. You see a line connecting all of them to the test plan.
Yes, sir.
They should be like that, guys. They should be like that. Okay. All these elements are the child elements of a test plan. I'll explain what is user defined variable, what is request defaults, what is the importance of cookie manager, cache manager. I'll explain that now in the tomorrow's session. Most probably in tomorrow's session, we'll discuss this. Okay. And this is how you add all your scripts to a test plan and you create one common test plan for all the scripts. Okay. You need to collect all the scripts from your teammates and you need to create a test plan and give the name as web tools. So sanity test plan. Sanity means, smoke test or sanity or a dry run or a trial run. So before you execute any test, first you need to do a smoke test, or that is also called as sanity or a dry run. Different organizations or different teams call it with different names. Dry run or a trial run. Okay.
Sir, I have one query, sir.
Shakeout test. All these terms are one and the same. Yeah, I'll come to you. All these terms are one and the same. So before starting your actual test executions, so first you should always execute a smoke test or a sanity. Okay. And that is the reason I gave the test plan name as sanity. Yeah. What is your query?
Sir, after preparing that test plan, we have merged all script. We don't, we no need to add that CSV files, sir. Suppose we are
No,
sharing
we
this.
need to add the CSV files for each script is, you see
No,
here.
no, we have added, but that CSV
Hmm.
file is present in our local system.
The path will be different, correct? Yeah. So you need to fix the path. You need to suppose you get the CSV files and keep all those CSV files into the script folder. For example, for user registration, you can keep all the scripts and test data into one folder, one single folder, and you need not give the full path or absolute path. You need not give the absolute path or full path, right? I had already explained what is absolute path and relative path, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
See, absolute path means full path, complete path from the drive letter. Okay, relative path means relative to the folder. Relative path means this is relative to the folder in which you are there, relative to the folder in which you are present or in which you are currently there, right? For example, this is, see, for example, suppose if you, 1 second, let me go up one level up. See, suppose, if you want to specify the path of the script, right? So in this current folder, suppose this is your folder. Let me open a command prompt. So this is your folder. So there you have, so you can give like this. Second. Right. So this is called as relative path. Clear, guys? Instead of giving from the beginning drive letter, so you are giving the path from the current folder. Dot represents current folder. Please remember this. Dot represents current folder. In current folder, there is another folder called random flight ticket. And in that you have a script called, let's say, what is the script name? What is the script name? It will be random flight ticket on random flight ticket while controller. Let's say, for example, you want to, specify the path of that script, right? Just type 1 or 2 letters and keep pressing tab till the required file is selected. Okay. Now this is the script. See, this is called as relative path. Relative to which folder? Relative to this folder. Clear, guys? And you need to add the CSV files, guys. You need to take care of this. So you need to you need to give the correct path on your system. Okay. You can do smoke test on your system, but it is always a best practice to execute the smoke test in your test environment. It is always a best practice. It is recommended to do the test, smoke test in the test environment. Don't do it from your laptop. Okay. Copy all the scripts to some remote, your test environment. So you will be given some machines to execute the test. So ideally, you should execute the test from that machine, particular remote machine. Usually, you will be given some remote machines and you know how to connect to a remote machine, right? Type remote or MSTSC. In the Windows search box, you type MSTSC, you'll get this one, or else, you can type remote as well. Type remote and you connect to that remote machine, enter the IP address and you need credentials of that machine. You need to know the IP address and credentials of that machine. Connect to that machine, copy the scripts. You can copy the scripts. Okay. How to copy the scripts? If it is Windows, you can copy simply by, show options and go to local resources and select the clipboard. If you select the clipboard, you will be able to copy the scripts from your local machine to remote machine. And you click on connector. You click on connect and, once you are logged into that machine, I'll show this tomorrow. So, I need to, still I didn't need to set up that. So I'm unable to connect at the moment. So, because, I purchased a new laptop and, the required setting need to be done. Okay. Even though I enabled remote desktop connection, it is not connecting. So I'll show that in some other session. Okay. Now, so you'll copy the scripts to that remote machine and you will be running the test from a remote machine, guys. Don't run it from your office laptop. Okay. Always execute the smoke test in test environment. This should be executed in the test environment. Okay. When you are doing script review, yes, you can do it on your local machine. If you are reviewing your teammate scripts or your team lead is reviewing your scripts, they can do it from remote from your office laptop. But whenever you are executing a smoke test, always better, always, it's always preferred to do it from in the actual test environment. In the actual test environment. And when you are executing a smoke test, make sure you include all the scripts of your project. Okay. Whether there are 15 scripts or 20 scripts, add all those, prepare test data for all of them, and then go for the smoke test. Okay. So this is how we prepare for the smoke test. There is a checklist. Meanwhile, there is a checklist that you can follow. That is there in the PPT. Let me show you that, and I will close the session for today. So
Pawan, can you explain about smoke test, please?
Yeah. So
What is smoke
we'll
test?
do
I
that
don't know
tomorrow.
that.
We'll do that smoke test execution tomorrow. We just created a test plan for that. That's it. So we'll do the execution tomorrow, right? So you need to
Okay.
prepare some checklist like this. See, this is the checklist for JMeter text executions. Okay. So, see, these are the most important checklist items. And in your project, it may vary slightly. When you are implementing this in your project, you may be having, some slight modifications or changes, some additional things required. Got it? But always, prepare a checklist and follow that checklist so that you will not forget anything or you will not miss anything. Because when you are executing a load test, right? Once the smoke test is successful, when you are suppose tomorrow you are supposed to execute a load test, you need to inform the client in advance and you need to notify all the stakeholders before starting a test. You got it? You need to notify all the stakeholders before starting a test execution. And your client may be interested to join, or else they may need to take care of some upstream and downstream systems. Right? So that is why you need to you should inform all the stakeholders. And once you inform all the stakeholders, if something goes wrong, if there is a script issue or a test data issue, that really doesn't look good and it will result in escalations. So you should always notify all your stakeholders before starting a test. Right? So before starting the actual test, execute a smoke test, make sure that everything is working fine. Before that, do a script review and do a sanity test for all the individual scripts. And then execute a load test, smoke test or sanity test or a warm-up test. Yes, some organizations or some teams call it as warm-up test also. And it should be done in the test environment only. Okay, we'll discuss this checklist items tomorrow, and then we will execute a smoke test tomorrow, and we'll execute a load test in the next session. So I'll stop it here, guys, for today. So we are on top of the hour, and I need to start to Amirpet classroom. Okay.
Sir, is that our test plan, sir?
What is it?
Our test plan preparation.
Huh.
We have merged our all script. So is
Once
that
you
our
merge
test plan?
once you merge all the scripts, right? Make sure that you add this cookie manager, cache manager. Tomorrow I'll explain what is the purpose of this cache manager, cookie manager, right? I think we discussed before briefly, but I'll explain in detail in tomorrow's session. So once you create this, right now, before you close the day, for example, so you are supposed to share the daily status report. Mention that you worked on test plan creation and you did a smoke test. Let's say you also did a smoke test or a sanity test, right? And for sanity test, we created one more ticket, right? So attach that one also. Execute a smoke test bug 7, let's say. Suppose once you are done with this, okay, without working on it and without accomplishing it, don't mention that, guys. That is very dangerous, very risky. Without working on any task, don't mention it in that you worked on the task, right? So once you are done with this, so you will share the daily status report like this. Or else suppose you are planning to execute a smoke test tomorrow, so mention it here like this. So you mention it here. That is the planned activity for tomorrow, let's say. Okay. Or else, here you can say like checklist. You prepared a checklist, prepared checklist. Okay. Prepared a checklist for test execution. You can create a subtask for this one also. That you are preparing a checklist for test execution. You can create one more subtask, right? You can create one more subtask here and mention that you worked on that. Create a checklist for test execution. Sorry. For performance test execution. Yeah. And you worked on that also. Suppose you worked on that also. You mention that over here. You can mention that in your in your daily status, and then you can leave for the day. Bug 9, right? So that is the number is bug 9. So you can mention that you worked on these tasks today, and tomorrow you are planning a sanity test, right? If there are any blockers or impediment, mention it. Otherwise, mention no blockers. No blockers or no impediments. Right? And this is how your daily status report should go to your lead or your reporting manager. Right? Once you share this report, then only leave office. Okay. Otherwise, your team lead or project lead will call you. They will not leave you. They will call you. They will call you, when you are, even if you are in traveling or, you are, you closed your your day. Okay. Guys, I'll stop it here. So we'll continue tomorrow. Today, so batch tracker, test plan creation with multiple steps. So, and what did we discuss today? What else did we discuss? User stories demo. The stories demo. Confluence. Jira. Test plan creation with multiple scripts. All right then. I'm closing the meeting, guys. Okay.